So in this section, we're going to graph two variable inequalities. So when we come across a question like y is greater than 2x plus 1, our goal is to determine all the points that make the inequality true. So if we're given a question like, is 1, 5 a solution? What are we going to do? We're going to plug in 1 and 5 for x and y. So let's see, is 5 greater than 2 times 1 plus 1? Is 5 greater than 2 plus 1? Is 5 greater than 3? Yes, so 1, 5 is a solution. And if we repeat it with 3, 7, let's see, is 7 greater than 2 times 3 plus 1? Is 7 greater than 6 plus 1? Is 7 greater than 7? No. So now to graph these two variable inequalities, we're going to have a two-step process. Step 1, we're going to graph the line y equals whatever we're given, 2x plus 1. Then we're going to use a dashed line anytime we've got a greater than or a less than symbol. We're going to use a solid line anytime we've got a greater than or equal to or a less than or equal to. Then step 2, we're going to shade the region of the solution. So we're going to shade above the line anytime we've got a greater than or equal to. We're going to shade below the line anytime we've got a less than or equal to. So our first example, y is greater than 2x plus 1. We want to just graph that line. I'm going to start on my y-intercept of 1, rise 2, run 1, rise 2, run 1. Precision is important, so I'm going to use my ruler to extend that line through the graph. If you notice, I'm dashing my line because I've got a greater than sign. There's no or equal to under it, so it's dashed. Then I need to decide greater than, so I need to shade above. So I'm going to use the side of my pencil and shade the entire graph above this line. So our next example, y is less than negative 3/4 x minus 2. Again, let's just graph that line, y-intercept of negative 2, slope up 3, back 4, up 3, back 4. Or we could have gone down 3, over 4. I'm going to connect them this time with a straight solid line. And this time I want to shade below less than the graph, so shading all those points all the way to the edge of the graph. Our third example here, we can't graph it quite yet until we get y alone. So I'm going to work to get y alone. Subtract 5x from both sides. Negative 2y is greater than or equal to negative 5x minus 10. Divide by negative 2. Now remember our rules for inequalities, anytime we multiply or divide by a negative, we're going to flip the sign. So my greater than sign became a less than sign. So y greater than becomes y less than 5/2 x plus 5, reducing those fractions. Next I want to graph that line. Start at that y-intercept of 5, and up 5 over 2, I'm off the graph, so I'm going to go ahead and just go down 5, back 2. And I want to connect those with a solid line because of that or equal to bar. And this time shading below. And example D, again, we can't graph it yet until we get y alone. So to get y alone, let's subtract 2x from both sides. And divide by -3, still working to get y alone. And recognize we divided by a negative, so I'm going to flip that sign. That less than is going to turn into a greater than sign. So I've got y greater than 2/3 x minus 2. Let's write that y-intercept of 2, rise 2, run 3, rise 2, run 3. And solid dashed line on this one because there's no or equal to, so using that ruler. And we do want to shade above for greater than. So next we're going to encounter two of our special cases. X is less than or equal to 2. So I need to remember my x equals is going to be a vertical line through x of 2. So my x of 2 is right here. And I've got an undefined slope on that, excuse me. So we're going to take our ruler and let's see, solid line. And I want to shade below that. There's really no below for this vertical line. So I'm going to think logically, where are all the numbers that are less than 2? They're going to be to the left of it. So I'm going to graph everything to the left of that line. And finally, y is greater than -4. So I can recognize this is going to be a horizontal line through my y of 4. There's no bar underneath it, so it's going to be a dashed line. And I want to shade above that line, should be very obvious, all those points above it. And if you're not sure, just check where are all the numbers greater than -4 above it.